We have put together staff reports for the city-sponsored public event program. As you may recall, the city has allocated $50,000 each year of the biennium, so $100,000 total over the 2 years. And then those, the opportunity for the event program grants were advertised out of the Economic Development Department. And then what you see before you are the other requests that we have received. You have the specifics included in your staff report in the packet concerning the guidelines, the applications themselves, and we do have presenters here for them as well, who will be able to present, ask questions of, and move and at your discretion determine how these funds will be allocated. There was a 60% up to $12,000 were the parameters identified in the grant that we made available to the applicants. And with that, I'll turn over to Mr. Graham if there's anything I missed or you'd like to add.
Sure. Good evening, commissioners, and happy spring. This is we advertised this a little earlier than normal. We advertised this on January the 3rd of 2024, which is much earlier than we did last year, as was hoped. So we were able to accomplish that deadline. Tonight you have 5 proposals before you, and as the city manager mentioned, it will basically expend the total appropriated funds for this fiscal year of $50,000. So. With that said, and with your indulgence, Mayor, I'd like to call up our first proposal, which would be First City Celebration, Downtown Oregon City Association, or in other words, DOCA.
And we're going to give a little shout out to the Allen boys in the audience. Hi, guys. How you doing? Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you again. I haven't seen you since trick-or-treating.
Okay.
So your mom's going to come up and say something, so we're going to be as good as gold, aren't we?
And while she's coming up...
Or they're coming up. All right. Here we go.
While they're getting situated, you can't turn down kids, you know that.
That's what I thought. They get the money. Next entry.
Next one.
Yeah.
My secret plan, right?
Better run out and grab a kid to help out.
He's got...
Or
yeah.
at least a dog.
You could borrow one. You could borrow one.
Yeah, I have two of them.
The total request is $12,000 for this fund, and I will turn it over to Juliana.
And I should add that Ryan Brinkley, staff, is sitting in the audience, as is Vice Chair Roger.
Yes, okay. Thank you all so much for having us and for listening to our request for this city-sponsored grant to put on First City this year. And thank you for your patience in advance. I think we're going to be just fine, but thank you in advance. So the mission of the Downtown Oregon City Association is to cultivate community and commerce in the downtown district. Our First City Celebration is our largest festival that we put on every year. We are on our 13th year of putting it on. It typically attracts between 6,000 and 7,000 visitors, obviously depending on many circumstances. Last year was very, very warm, so we were a little bit lower last year on the numbers that we had, but this is what we project to have just based on the data from the years prior, 6,000 to 7,000 people. Okay, so the goal of the First City Celebration is to support the local and the tourist economy. So we believe this is a very it has a major economic impact, not just on the local, so the business district that we have, but we aim to attract businesses from all over with our vendor booths that we have. So we're doing both, promoting the local businesses and trying to attract in the tourist component as well. So our goal is to showcase the community, the businesses, and what's available. So obviously this day is very important important to us, but looking at it through a larger context is we want people to know what is here, what our downtown district has to offer, what's available, what shops are here, what restaurants are here. So not only are they going to come down for the day, but our hope is that we can get them back. So we're supporting the tourism, trying to get the people to come back to the district by showcasing our beautiful, beautiful city during this first city celebration. So we want to welcome them back through the year, no matter where they are from. So that's the goal, enjoy the day and then come back. So we really, really appreciate the opportunity to apply for this grant. As you all know, the costs of everything continue just to increase, I guess, for lack of a better word. And so having this grant for being able to put this celebration on to support our downtown district is incredibly important. And we thank you so very much. So thank you. And what questions can I answer for you all?
Question? Yeah, I think we should. So I just have, actually, I don't have the question for you, but I think I asked this last year because I didn't write it down. So when did we start the first city festival? Because although there's 13 years behind DOCA, the city did it for a while, so I think it's got to be close to 20. I was still working for the city when we did it the first time because we did it. So I have to say it's got to be 20 years plus that we've had the first city festival in Oregon City.
Yeah.
Celebrating. You don't remember? Well, I know it's been, yeah,
I was gonna say 93 or
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
before, a little bit before that in different phases, different
Yeah. I was gonna say,
versions.
that's my recollection is that it's been going on for a while and it's, you know, again, it celebrates us as a city being the first city, which I like to tell everybody all the time about that. So I don't think you have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all.
Good job, guys.
Yep.
Our next request, no, are you going to vote on them individual or as?
We're going to hear them all first.
Hear them all first, okay. So our next proposal is from Three Rivers Artists Guild. And the Three Rivers Artists Guild's event is Oregon City's Festival of the Arts. It is scheduled to take place on August 10th and 11th. And here to make the presentation is Linda Orza.
For the last time.
I heard.
You mean for you being here for the last time with it?
I'm moving next year.
No, I'm sorry, you're not allowed. So we'll discuss that offline.
You went there.
No, this is my last year. I was here last year asking for another grant, and this year we...
Linda, would you just introduce yourself for the record?
Oh, I'm sorry, Linda Orzen. I'm with the Three Rivers Artists Guild. Do you want my address?
No.
No, okay. Also the founder of the Three Rivers Artists Guild. And we have been putting on the Oregon City Festival of the Arts. This will be our 8th year. I decided not to be the coordinator this year because last year I had a rather bad fall that put me out of business for quite a few months. So I did not feel that I was able to do it this year. And we almost shut it down for the year until we found out about the grant. And at that point, we decided to try and hire a coordinator, which we have done. That was quite the process, but we do have a coordinator. We actually have 2 people. We have a volunteer that stepped up from the guild to help coordinate. Then we had to hire a coordinator to be doing it full time. So that's what this grant is for. They have one person do the job that I did last year. Any questions?
Questions?
Requested amount?
Oh, the requested amount is $8,000.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
That was too easy for my last time. You should make it harder.
No, we don't want to do
We're
that.
not done yet.
Okay.
We're not making it harder.
Don't leave.
I'm sneaking out the back door.
It's locked, sorry. All right.
With your indulgence, Mayor, the next proposal is from our very own Parks and Recreation Department, the 4th of July celebration. This will be the first year that we would, first year in a while,
In a while.
that we would have this event-oriented,
Our request.
this family-oriented event. And so here to present are Taylor Miller and
Melissa Sebastian.
Sebastian. I don't know what to, I never know what to call your last name. It changes. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Good evening, Mayor McGriff and Commissioners. I'm excited to extend a warm invitation to our upcoming 4th of July community celebration right here in Oregon's hometown, Oregon City. This event promises an unforgettable experience for all ages, featuring live music by the talented CJ Mickens Band, who is featured on the second season of American Idol, alongside delicious food and beverage vendors, a kids' corner and community booth, the highlight of the evening being a spectacular community presentation featuring local dance and theater troupe performances, a flag salute, and the national anthem, followed by a stunning laser light show that is sure to be the light to light up the sky with feelings of community, freedom, and joy. That brings me to the main reason that we're here tonight, to request the city-sponsored event grant of $12,000 to help assist us in putting on the laser light show. Obviously, there are other expenditures which are coming from about $4,800 in sponsorships from local businesses to help with the event, as well as some existing budget of our concert, since this year is our kickoff series. That will not be the case in the future, so we will have those discussions at some point for future patriotic events. I wanted to answer a couple questions that were in the application, just to clarify a few things. In relation to the organizing support for local businesses through the event, obviously being a holiday, most of the businesses in Oregon City will be closed. However, we are proud that we have some local food vendor opportunities and organizations from throughout the community that will help foster community pride and support, and they'll be featured throughout the event. And I do believe that attendees will notice the local business sponsorships that are for not just 4th of July, but for the full concert series, and then in turn support them throughout the community. The question related to promotion strategy, we are pulling out all the stops to promote this event. Our promotion strategy spanning physical posters, newspaper articles, social media campaigns, and local news coverage aims to maximize attendance and excitement leading up to the event, with social media and website outreach beginning this month in April and continuing with print materials in May. Now, in regards to the Oregon's Hometown Welcome Home branding, I was remiss to include that in the application when answering one of the questions. It was marked on the caution that you see on the sheet that you have. So in response to that, I have completed a social media campaign outline for the months of April, May, and June leading up to the event. Examples of this can be seen on the screen of different potential social media opportunities, making sure that we are promoting Oregon's hometown welcome home branding. We hope that with that social media campaign, we'll evoke a sense of community pride and belonging by showcasing the warmth and vibrancy of our city and inviting everyone to come home and celebrate the 4th of July with us, together making Independence Day truly special. Thank you for considering the city-sponsored event grant application, and we, as a team, are committed to making this 4th of July a memorable one, and we're here to answer any potential questions you might have.
So I notice often on the local news agencies, they publish and say, hey, things to do this weekend.
Yeah.
Is that part of your advertising scheme?
Yes.
Very good, thanks.
And I will admit, I don't know anything about American Idol, so when you mentioned that, it just went over my head.
That's all right. CJ's a wonderful artist. He's local. He also won Portland Idol at one point.
Okay.
He has a great band. He performs all over the area. So we're excited to have him kind of kicking off a really great lineup of concerts this year, which we'll be announcing in a couple weeks. So we're excited for that as well.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right,
Thank you.
thank you, guys.
Next proposal is from Oregon City Brewery Company, private company, who is putting on for the 5th year Oregon Trail Brew Fest. And this will be the 5th year for this organization. The request is the max $12,000. And here to present it is Bryce Morrow.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Thanks for having me tonight,
Thank you.
staff. So this has been a total of 7 years, actually, for the Brew Fest, but we took off 2 years during the pandemic. This Brew Fest, the first year, we didn't call it much of a Brew Fest, and at the time, there were a total of 5 breweries in city limits. So I had everybody down for our 1-year anniversary in 2015, and we had everybody in the front patio, and we had a large covered tent. It was great. So it was all the different local breweries, and some of them have moved on since that time. But that was kind of the ethos of it, getting together this kind of fledgling craft beer community, and it's grown over time. Then the first year we did it on Main Street as part of the First City celebration, and then it grew out of that. So it became its own entity, and then we moved it over to the end of the Oregon Trail Interpretive Center in 2017. And then we can finally call it a real brew fest. It has grown up a lot since we first done it. We've learned a lot. It is a tremendous undertaking to put on an event with somewhere between 4,000 to 6,000 people. It has always been a free event. Part of that is because it's incredibly difficult to control the area in the interpretive centers, many access points. The only admission is charged for if you're going to consume alcohol. And then we have a ticketed event for that. I know many of you have attended, so you're familiar with how it works. So it's open to the public. We have a variety of different bands that we have. So we'll have 6 bands this year. 51 total breweries is what we had last year, including everybody local that we get. And then we have a variety of different food carts that are on site. We also have had different vendors that will come in from the local area, whether that be doing handouts for the interpretive center themselves. We've had Mount Hood Tourism there. Clackamas County Sheriffs love to do some recruitment on site. So we try to pull together as many entities to get people familiarized with Oregon City. Hopefully they'll come back and spend time. The data is very, very challenging for any of us who will come before you to get exact data on who attends a free event, unless it is ticketed. The ticketed stuff, I can tell you exactly what our data is. So it increased roughly 5% ticketed admission year over year from 2022 to 2023. We beefed up targeted social media advertising substantially this last year, which helped out with online pre-orders, and 87.5% of those paid attendees lived outside of Oregon City. We target local areas and try to just keep it broad for those who like craft beverages. And then we've been picked up by a variety of different local media outlets, whether that's KGW or Coin. And then we, of course, use our own internal social media outreach from the brewery. Included some photos on here just in case nobody has attended before. It's a lot of fun. We've been fortunate to have great weather. Last year, the First City celebration got hammered with some incredibly hot weather. We lucked out. We have upgraded our shade scenario. Thanks, Cyrus, who will be coming up to present after that. But his team does a great job of providing all the shelters that are there. It's a great event. Thanks for the support over the years, and we're excited to do it again. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
So Bryce, who are our local folks that are coming besides Oregon City Brewing? And I mean local, I'm talking about our area, not, I know Portland Cider, they were here, now they're not, but.
Yep, so I'm sure it'll be Shattered Oak. Brandon, we use his trailer every year, so I'm gonna go ahead and volunteer him to do that again. There has been some turnover in the city from some ownership changes, so I don't have everybody committed, but we'll get everybody who is close by. Certainly everybody in Clackamas County.
Well, who's left?
There's a new brewery that has taken over Coin Toss. They're called You've.
They're called who?
They're called You've. It's, I don't know how you pronounce it, actually.
You mean like the tree?
Yeah, Y-O-U-V. They are not open to the public. It's not like a tap room. They do production only and then wholesale.
Okay.
But everyone who is located in Clackamas County certainly will be there. So there'll be a variety of different vendors, whether that could be like Breakside. There will be, well, we try to get really everybody who is in the state. Now, we've done this in a few different configurations over the year. We tried to do it from breweries all along the Oregon Trail. So, you know, Kansas, Wyoming, Idaho. It was just so cost prohibitive though to import this beer, and all of the licensing was a nightmare. So I did that one year and then never wanted to do it again.
I
So
don't blame you.
we will focus locally on Oregon breweries and specifically Clackamas County.
I was looking to see if the Hive cider place was on here.
Yep, so that would be Shattered Oak, yep.
Oh, they're Shattered Oak,
Yep.
okay. All righty, fantastic.
Great. Thank you.
And Mayor, with your indulgence, the last proposal for tonight's consideration, it comes from Oregon City Car Show LLC. This will be the first year for this event organizer for this particular activity. The funding request is $6,000.
Good evening. My name is Cyrus Zamani. I'm an Oregon City resident, and I'm the one who's putting together the Oregon City Car Show for this year. This is our first year for this show. It's a long-time show that's been done in the past, has had a couple of turnovers, it looks like, in the last couple of years, and a couple of years hiatus from COVID, and kind of trying to put it back together. We have a couple of goals. The whole reason, to start a new event like this, we're working on building community, not just in the specific district that we're in down there, downtown Oregon City, but also for Oregon City in general, showing them this is a fun part of town that you can come down and see things going on. And that leads into growing businesses in our neighborhood. We have several businesses down there, all doing really well, but it's nice to really reinforce that as being, strong businesses down there. And that goes to a lot of the design of the way I'm designing the event. And then, of course, we want to employ our staff and pay some bills. The car show was picked because, not just because it was an event that had kind of fallen away, but also because it was an easier event to put on. It wasn't requiring larger street closures, where we chose the location based on, obviously, our proximity to the neighborhood, but in that parking lot there, because we don't have to close down Main Street, and we're trying to do the least impact that we can to the other larger roads in the area. And then going back to the businesses, where our show isn't going to be selling food. We have bars and food carts next to us. We have several strong businesses, so we don't want to compete with them for that. We're not selling liquor. Again, they have that. They have other entertainment going on, so we're not doing that stuff. We're just doing the car show component. We've been working with getting in touch with some of the previous showrunners, getting advice from them and getting information as far as putting this show together, because there's some elements to it that are specific to that industry. I've been running events since 1999, and I've been all over the place. I do hundreds of events a year now. Many of them are public events like this. We primarily focus on the logistics and the equipment side, but we work closely with the companies that we work with in the events, so we're familiar with all the aspects. Some of my events that you may have seen already, I do the elevator lighting. We do that throughout the year, or throughout the winter months. We also did the video games on the elevator, and now we're going to be doing the car show. And these are all free, open to the public things. I think that helps build that sense of community. And, it opened the doors, you know, the more stuff going on, I think, benefits all of us together so we can lift up together. And I'm available for any questions you may have about the event.
Go ahead.
So are there awards, entry fees, judges, or is it just a pretty
Yes.
passive event? Okay.
I mean, this first year, I'm setting the bar pretty low. But it's not going to be like a Cars and Coffee, where it's just a bunch of people showing up. It's going to be more curated. I do have awards. We have a way that we're going to have a couple of judges that are going to be doing the primary awards, but we're also working on doing some sort of a cell phone with QR codes for voting for the public. There's going to be an entry fee, so that way we can get people who are committed to come to the event, just for logistics and being able to do proper promotions as well. And we're going to try to make it a little bit nicer. But the first year, it's going to be really kind of come as you are. We want to try to just get something started. And so we're hoping to get about 1,000 attendees, and the space allotment is for about 125 cars.
What's your promotional plan? Advertise and attract people?
We have a couple of different approaches. One is, of course, we're going to be using banners where we're going to put some signs over Main Street. There's 2 locations on Malala Avenue that you can put banners up there to let people know about it. We're also going to be having banners in the immediate area down there on the side of the building and put up the week of the event also to show for traffic mitigation reasons. We're partnering with the businesses that are around us. They're going to have flyers and table tents and the tables of like Ice House and of the bars that are around there. We're working with them so that way we can cross-promote with people that are already coming down into the area. And then we also have social media marketing, and that goes to like Facebook and places like that to do an online marketing push as well.
Reason for the question is I want to know how you're going to reach the larger audience. Previous applicant even talked about using local news media and such, and that's a good approach, very good approach. But yours is good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. So in the staff report, among the concerns listed by our staff is that this application should not be approved unless the following conditions are met. Proof that the event organizers have invested their own funds in the event, city permit approval to utilize the city-owned parking lot, letters from private property owners, guarantees that there's commercial liability insurance, et cetera. So what steps have been taken to remediate those concerns?
So we're kind of in a chicken or the egg problem with this. So some of the components to this, because this is a first year event, some of these things just haven't been built yet. So or else we would have leaned on those from last year, previous agreements with people. So we're building them as we go. They're not non-existent, they just haven't been solidified completely. When it comes to things like insurance and the permit for the space, we're waiting to hear back and get that 100%. We've spoken about it with the city, but we haven't had it issued yet to us.
Have you applied?
Yes, we've applied. But it was things like, a lot of this was trying to find anybody who did this in the past, because a big concern was we don't want to step on any toes, right? But it's kind of a weird culture, these car guys. They don't really write stuff down, and half of them are dead now. So, I can't find them.
They passed on.
And so we're waiting, and they got to a point, it was like, we just got to do this thing, and that was about 2 months ago. So, so not having a previous year to rely on for some of those components, and then also the short run up to it. This is only in about a month and a half for the event, until the event occurs. So we're having to move things pretty dynamically right now, but we do have insurance lined up. We just are waiting to get some more competing bids before we pull the trigger on it. We already have the LLC built, the Oregon City business license has been issued. We have the permit request in with the city. We've already started all of our traffic mitigation plans. I've got contractors, porta potties, things like that already lined up. So most of the components are already there. They just weren't there in time for the application that you saw to be included on that.
Great. And then the proof that the event organizers have invested their own funds in the event?
Oh, boy. Do you want it? Just don't tell my wife.
Yeah. So you did, I recognize that you did just list a lot. I just want to make sure that our staff is
everything right now has been going straight to my bank account. So, we're looking, it's, in the scheme of things, it's a pretty small event, right, as far as budget goes. It's the first year, But we're looking at about $30,000 is going to be our total outlay for this event. So with all of the, without having vendors, we don't have vendors that we're bringing in, so we don't have a lot of income from that, but we do have the entry fees that we're anticipating to receive. And then there's going to be some small merchandise sales stuff. We're going to try to sell some t-shirts and things like that. But looking at all that, it's looking like my total outlay at this point is about $10,500. We look at that as an investment in something, it's a first year, so there's always a cost of starting. A lot of that money is going to be recouped in future years, just as, we get to reuse components to it, so it's not just lost money. We're also hoping to be able to pick up sponsorships in future years to be able to make the books meet. But I figured if I put some money in the front, at least we get the thing started.
Perfect. Thank you for the clarification, and I'm looking forward to the event.
Yes, Michael?
Do you have written approval from the private parking lot owners that you're going to use?
It is a city parking lot.
In the application, it mentioned a couple of private businesses.
Yes, so those are optional components, so we're working on those agreements right now with them. So that the primary event is going to be the city-owned parking lot and that one section of 13th Street right there. Because a big component of this is to push business to those other businesses that are right around us. That's the reason why we wanted to include in our strategy to be able to put some cars in the parking lot for like Oregon City Brewing and for Trails End, because that would help draw the crowd down that direction. It's completely optional. We're working on trying to figure out logistics and rules. There's some issues with insurance and things like that. So those aren't solidified as components of it, but at the same time, they aren't detrimental to the event in total. It was more of to try to reach the objective of pushing more people out, to the different businesses versus keeping it as a one concentrated spot.
So if you don't get those approvals, you can still pull off the event?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So my question is actually for Mr. Conkle. Does the city incur any additional expenses in a way of like secondary insurance or providing security or anything like that?
That's why from the insurance component, we do not. That's why we ask the applicants to be insured. Without seeing the specifics on security, when we've done these permits in the past, there have been payments to the city associated with a police presence. I'm not sure if you're getting, I think I saw security on one of your line items.
Yes.
Right, so I'm not anticipating anything significant.
Okay, I wasn't so concerned with the car people. The presence of alcohol is another thing. I have no objection to alcohol, so.
Okay, you heard it first here, folks.
In small glasses.
Yes.
Well, and we're not selling or providing alcohol at this event.
Any other questions? No. Okay, thank you, Cyrus.
Thank you.
All right. All right, commissioners, what is your pleasure? Do you have any questions for staff?
I do.
Right ahead.
Was it really by chance that this adds up exactly to $50,000? Was there some?
Staff probably did that.
Okay. I mean, did the request actually come and add up to that, or did we kind of encourage like a way to fit that in?
Well, to answer your question, the car show was the last applicant.
Yeah.
And so therefore, with that, there was $6,000 left. So that's how it worked.
So I
Certainly reallocate.
oh, for sure.
Right.
It just makes it nicer though that.
It does.
I think that, the three events that came, in order, first three that came up, this evening are ones that have proven themselves, that have become, without a doubt, the city signature events at this point in time.
Exactly.
And so I think they've proven themselves. This 4th of July thing, I don't know.
You want to get up and you reach that far? I don't know.
And then the car show, I mean, we've had, some great car show events. It's one that is something that, you know, has been kind of changed shape and form, but, so I support all these. I think they basically keep pretty much the known, traditional events that we've had going, and then a little bit bringing back the 4th of July event. So, I would support it all, funding them all.
You want to make a motion to that effect?
Just really quickly, just wanting to note the staff comments about ensuring that the city branding is included
Yeah,
is something
absolutely.
that I think we ought to include in a motion, but I am supportive of all of them as well.
I thought it was a requirement in the documentation that it has to be city branded, so I didn't have any.
Yeah, it is a requirement,
Yeah.
but we just wanted, we approved, the staff reviewed each of these applications, and we made a recommendation with conditions. And those conditions are listed on each application, each proposal. So if the commission is so inclined to approve them all, then
With the conditions.
I would suggest I would suggest approval with the appropriate conditions, as listed.
I would agree.
So moved.
I'll second it. The motion is to approve all of the grant applicants with the conditions as specified in the staff reports. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Mitchell,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Donnell,
Aye.
Commissioner Marl,
Aye.
Mayor Denise McGriff.
Aye. And thank you, everybody. These, you know, again, I agree with everything you said. These are signature events. Our community looks forward to them every year, and I know everybody's going to do a great job, and thank you so much. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you at all the events. Okay? We don't have any other business? All right. We are adjourned until 7 o'clock.